fly, man. This place too hot. I put my hands on it.
Hello, my name is Clara from Amani Zig TV, and I'm here interviewing the greatest hip-hop artist from Sierra Leone, Denero.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Nice.
So,
Listen.
Denero,
What's up?
how do you find Dubai so far?
Well, first of all, people out there, this is Denero, the entertainment ambassador, special envoy for investments in Sierra Leone. Dubai has been great so far, I was here for a show, an event, a book event, and during that time I took advantage of the opportunity, shot a music video for one of my songs. I've been meeting some great people. Shout out to Ziggy, Amani, Junior Alpha, all these guys. And they've been very, very, cordial, and everything has been smooth. It's a beautiful city, a lot of potential. I feel good, I love it.
Okay, so would you say you've been able to accomplish your mission of coming to Dubai?
Well, this is my first trip here, and I'm looking forward to more trips. I believe that there's a lot of potential here. There's so much to gain. Definitely, I think there's more grounds to cover in Dubai, I've been meeting a lot of great people, like I said, people that are interested in Africa, entertainment, tourism, mining, and different things, so, I feel like 60%, things are going great so far.
Oh, that's great. I mean, it's good to hear of that. And I wanted to ask you, they say you are the ambassador of Sierra Leone hip-hop artists, being ambassador in your community, which is your entertainment field.
Right.
What do you expect the government to do for you? I mean, do you have certain kind of plans, agendas you want the government to be able to achieve in terms of entertainment, music, and so on?
Well, yeah, throughout my years as an artist, as a hip-hop artist in Sierra Leone, I had some great ideas, things that I feel like, if we establish these ideas and bring them into reality, there will be more of good for our industry, I have confidence in our president because for the first time in history in Sierra Leone, entertainers are being recognized, It used to just be where, entertainers would just come in groups and the president or the people, the government will just give them little pennies. They go out there and share it and fight for it. But now it's a new day. This is the first time in history for a sitting president, to acknowledge the entertainment industry by creating an office, a special envoy for entertainment and investment. And it's historic. I'm the first artist to occupy that position. So I think that on its own is a great sign, to show that he's committed, he's ready, to make things happen. Of course, I have my agenda. There's so much things I'm trying to accomplish. Some of the things, I'll elaborate on a few of them. I have this idea of having the Trace Mano River. You see, because...
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. You see, the African music has been monopolized. I always say this, Smaller countries are not being recognized. We don't get the fair share of the exposure that we feel like we deserve, The East Africans, what they did was, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, they kind of negotiate with Trace TV, and they got Trace Mzika. So they don't have to come to Ghana and Nigeria for their videos to be played on MTV or Trace. Now they have their own channel on DSTV. So that's one thing I'm trying to accomplish, hopefully, so help me God, to where we can have Mano Trace Mano. It's going to be servicing for Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, the Gambia. So all our musicians, all the content from these countries will have the exposure needed in Africa. That's one thing in my agenda. Plus, I have this idea of doing a Back to My Root festival. This festival is something like you guys have in Ghana. You're from Ghana, right?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, they have a homecoming in Ghana, where all the African Americans in the diaspora, they come to Africa and feel at home. So I have the same idea that I'm trying to do in Sierra Leone called Back to My Roots, where all the Caribbeans, the African Americans can come to Sierra Leone. We have a big festival. We have great beaches in Sierra Leone, beautiful country, to where we can host them at the beach, performances. We have 2-3 guest artists from the Caribbeans and America to come and perform with the Sierra Leonean acts, So I think that's gonna rebrand Sierra Leone, because for now, most people think in a negative light about Sierra Leone. So with that being done, you know, and international media covering that festival, I think it will take us a long way. You know, so that's the second thing on my agenda. We need an auditorium in Sierra Leone. That's why I'm in Dubai. That's why I'm traveling to the States to seek investment to where we can have a 10,000 capacity auditorium, to where we don't have to just be doing shows at the stadium. You know, we can have our own place where we can host our events. Exactly. I know Ghana has something like that, where they do the Ghana Music Awards and stuff. So we need something like that in Sierra Leone in Freetown. We have smaller venues, but only like take like 1,000 or less. We need something like 10,000, and the government is supportive. We're just looking for funds and getting the right investors that will be interested in that project as well. So that's one. And we need a national studio, meaning a studio that will be accessible to all the artists in Sierra Leone. You know, meaning all the up-and-coming artists, established artists. As long as you have something that's promoting the good image of the country, you can come out there and record. You know what I mean? You shoot a video with a red camera, all this great equipment, you know? These are some of the things. Workshops, we're trying to do workshops. Workshops in the sense of having professionals come to Sierra Leone. You know, big producers, big engineers, great DJs, you know, people that have social media marketing strategies to help our professionals, you know, get to the next level, elevate themselves, you know, because I think in the long run, that will change the landscape of the entertainment industry. So that's just some of my things, you know, that I have.
Well said. So what I wanted to ask you is, since you're winning the position of being ambassador of entertainment, what are the things you can tell me that so far you've accomplished? Well, what you're planning to do?
No doubt. Well, I've accomplished a few, you know what I mean? I've set up a board. This board is comprised of professionals, you know, veterans, people from the movie industry, comedians, you know, DJs, producers. So in this board, what I did was I kind of set up committees in this board. We have a peace committee. These are the people entrusted with the responsibility to go out there and settle all the differences in the industry. Because we have a lot of division in the Sierra Leone industry, you know. So yeah, unfortunately, you know, throughout the years it has been like that, you know. So we have this peace committee that will go out to settle all these differences. I have a content review committee. That committee is going to be reviewing content. You know, we don't want anybody to just get up and put up songs on YouTube representing Sierra Leone. It has to be of quality, well mixed and mastered. You know, so the content review committee will be given that opportunity to go through. This committee is full of producers, sound engineers, DJs, people that know professionalism, that know sound. They will be analyzing the songs before they go out to the public. I've set up a data collecting committee. That committee is basically, we need a data collection of all the studios in the country, the entertainment hubs, you know, the record labels, the radio stations. So once we get that, we know what we are dealing with, you know, then we'll be able to, you know, operate with a know-how, you know, because we don't want to just come and start working vividly without knowing what we're dealing with.
I think you know what you're in for. I think you're so much aware of your skills and capabilities of putting Sierra Leone music on the map.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you one question. The thing is, what have you had any challenges in terms of accomplishing these things or setting up all this? Have you had any challenges so far?
Well, you know, I've had a few. You know, the problem destroying or disturbing the Sierra Leone music industry is the unity issue. You know, artists have ego. You know, it's hard to be united, for them to feel like, oh, you know, people are misunderstanding the position of a special envoy. A special envoy is really to go out there and seek for investors, bring investors that's going to change things around and help the economy grow. You know, whether it's in entertainment, tourism, or whatever, in agriculture. So my responsibility is really that, to go out there and seek investment, bring them home, so we can, you know, do the changes that's needed. You know, but the artists in Sierra Leone, some of my brothers, they are more thinking about the title. Why is he the one choosing? Why is he the one above us? Are we under him? Is he our boss? You know, I'm nobody's boss. You know what I mean? I'm not all-star president. You know what I mean? I'm not that.
So, so far, have you had any challenges in being the ambassador for Sierra Leone entertainment music?
Most definitely, there's been challenges, but I've been going through challenges throughout my career, so I'm used to it. You know what I mean? It's just dealing with artists. You're going to be dealing with ego. There's a lot of people that think that, oh, why is he the one chosen? There's a lot of people that's been dreaming to be where I'm at. You know what I mean? That crave for this position. Well, it's about having the experience and having the track record, and I've proven that you can stand the test of time, you know what I mean? And having all these great ideas, I'm not the boss of nobody. The role of a special envoy is to go out there to seek investment, bring back to the country, bring change to whatever industry you're representing, whether you're representing entertainment, tourism, agriculture, trade. That's what your role is. You're not the boss of anybody. So I'm not the boss to any artist, it's just something honorable for me to do, to see if we are all united. We all see that it's very useful and important to work as one, because if you guys come together, we'll achieve things faster. Even though I do believe that I can still get results without engaging nobody. No disrespect. Okay. I'm very focused on my goal. The problem in Sierra Leone is that most of the artists are very politically affiliated. They are loyal to a lot of political parties. Okay. So seeing Denero succeed is seeing that it's the president's, politicized. So they are very reluctant to work with the ambassador or to see great reasoning in making sure that the agenda succeeds. But I think in due time with results, when people start seeing the national studio, people see the auditorium construction going on, people see Trace Mano happening, workshops happening, all these things happening, nobody want to be left behind. Because all these artists need a red camera to shoot great videos. Yeah. All these artists want to record in a top-notch music studio. Yeah. So once they see all these things happening, trust me, I believe they will fall in line and things will get a lot easier.
So well said by our great ambassador, Denero. He said he's not in competition with anybody. That's what he wants you to understand. That he is standing in for all. He is standing in for all. For the entertainment and music industry in Sierra Leone. So he's not challenging no one, but he's doing it for everybody.
Exactly.
Okay, sir. Well said and done. Now, another thing I wanted to ask you is, do you think you have any people hating you or something like that? You have any hatred in your line of fields? Do you have any people? Do you have any musician you think they are snitching on you, or they are stalking on you or something? You want to know, because it's all over. Even in Ghana, we have some musicians who think, oh, this one is beefing. We have this and that, a whole group of people that are supporting one musician, and then the rest are not supporting. Right. So, is there anything like that going on in Sierra Leone? We want to have a fair idea.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Very, very much so. Sierra Leone is very hostile. Yeah. We have a war background. It's a country that just came from war 20 or 30 years ago. Yeah. My background is hip-hop music. Hip-hop music is very confrontational. To where the next man feels like he's better than you. You have to be very, very strong. So in that process, you create a lot of enemies, just based on the music, your lyrics and the back and forth with other artists. But I think, as time goes by, we all grow. It's time for growth. It's time for progress. So all the people that we had bumps along the way, they should see sense in just coming together to work with Denero to see how best we can push our industry. All that time for all that beef and all that controversy, that's hip-hop, that's music, that's understandable. Now it's about leaving a legacy for the kids, generation on one, that things that they will point at, that, oh, okay, these are the guys that really, create all these policies, that all these great ideas, they came together and worked as one, and they achieved it. So, it's inevitable, jealousy is going to be there, people are going to be envious, you can't stop that, But people have to start thinking beyond politics, thinking beyond petty things, thinking beyond grudges that they held from the past, and just move on. It's a new day, I think that comes in any music industry in Africa, or the world as a whole,
Mr. Kali, the thing is, do you think the government has any line of delivery to what their promises and whatever you have for for Sierra Leone community in terms of music?
Well, if anybody that knows Denero's background, I have a revolutionary background. You know, I grew up listening, loving people like Bob Marley. You know what I mean? Tomo Sankara is my hero. You know, Che Guevara, people like this. But for me to make this transformation to really deal with a president like President Bio is because I have faith in him. I feel like he's very honest. I feel like he's a very simple guy, you know, president, you know, that you can have a conversation with, where you don't feel like he's trying to be a politician to you. You know, because most politicians are just trying to manipulate you to get their own interests accomplished. I don't feel that way about President Bio. He's a very honest, you know, individual, very straightforward. He has a military background, so you understand. And he gained power when he was young. So I do have belief in President Bio. I believe that, you know, for this, like I said earlier in the interview, for him to even take this step to acknowledge our industry. Because, you know, people look at entertainers as dropouts. You know what I mean? People that's not serious, people that are just known entities in the community. But for him to acknowledge us and give us that opportunity, you know, for us to prove ourselves, I think it goes a long way. That can just remind us that, you know, he want to have the conversation. He want to have the dialogue to where he can understand what's affecting us. You know, what would be detrimental is if we can't get ourselves together to make sure that we have our policies. Like, it's key for us to have our policy. Policy meaning rules that will govern our industry. You know what I mean? Policies where we can have a playlist system. You know, because right now in Sierra Leone, I would say 60% of the music that's being played is foreign music.
Okay.
You know, like the local artists are not really being played on the radio.
Yeah, not being recognized.
Yes. So we want to change that. How we're going to change that is we're going to create a playlist system. Meaning, we will choose 30 well-mixed and mastered songs every 3 months that will be presented to the radio stations and entertainment hubs, clubs, restaurants, hotels. These are the songs they should popularize in the country, you know. And anybody that falls short of that, you are liable to face a fine, or you probably might not have a license. You know, these are the policies we want to put in place. We're not enforcing it to the public, but we want to talk sense to them so they can see that it's viable for them to support our industry, to support our content, to make sure our artists grow. You know, so much things that we're trying to put on this policy. And I believe once it's done, we'll present it to the government, it will go through parliament, and it will become law. You know, then, you know, we want to have our own secretariat or ministry, meaning entertainment ministry. Do you guys have one in Ghana?
Of course we do.
See? So we can just copy the same blueprint, have one in Sierra Leone where it's a ministry not linked to any other ministry, it's independent, it's dealing with the entertainment affairs, you know? I think these are the things we want to involve and include in our policy statements to the government, you know, and then it might go through parliament and then it becomes law.
So should we expect more content from you? I mean, more music coming up?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Music is in me, you know what I mean? That's never going to leave, you know? I think it's very natural, you know, no amount of appointments. Even if I become a president someday in the future, I'm going to be like Oponwe. Oponwe still performs, you know? He still plays soccer. So music is always going to be in me. In Liberia.
Like the Bobby Brown and all
Yeah. Bobby Wine in Uganda, whatever. But, you know, music is always going to be in me. You know, I don't think I'm going to relent doing music, putting out content. It will just be motivational content. It will be respectful content. It will be something that will inspire the youth, you know, to think better than what they're thinking. You know, because most people in my country are expecting less because they haven't seen any big things happen. If you have big dreams, big goals, they think you're dreaming too much. They don't feel like it's achievable because they've never seen it done. You know, but I'm cut from a different cloth. I believe that if you dream it, you walk towards it, it's achievable. You know, when I started doing music, everybody said, oh, I'm just wasting my time.